is it an overreaction to say after 3 unimaginably great seasons, if it were to somehow end here, which obviously it won't, that he's a Hall of Famer right now? Booger.
Yeah, Greeny, I think it's a bit of an overreaction because I don't think it's something that we've ever seen done. Now, we're talking about him in 3 years winning 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 1 regular season MVP, and then just walking off. Already understanding where he could go maybe down the road. But if he just drops the mic right there, it's going to be close, Greeny. But I wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame knowing how these people vote. Understand this. Terrell Owens put up crazy numbers. Maybe it's at worst the top 3 receiver of all time, and they waited for him to get in. I think Patrick Mahomes is great. He's outstanding. But, Greeny, you always say never make a lot of money betting on something that's never been done, okay? Putting somebody in the Hall of Fame after 4 years has never been done. So how are we going to automatically say as a shoo-in that even though he's been so great that we could put him in? I know we think he is, but I just don't know, Greeny.
Here's why it isn't. I get it, and I hear you. But, Louis Riddick, here's my argument. Here's why it isn't crazy. Because I think I'm the oldest person in this conversation. So I've been watching the sport going back to when the best quarterbacks were Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach. I've seen every great quarterback in the NFL the last 50 years. There's just something different going on here. Okay, so whether he would be a Hall of Famer Monday or not aside, is there just something different, Louis? Is it accurate to say there was something going on here with Patrick Mahomes that we have literally never seen in the sport before?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, 4 years ago, I remember sitting on SportsCenter after having talked to the people down in Kansas City, and you know how I have great relationships with them down there. And this was before he had even taken a snap in a game. This was when he was just going through OTAs and rookie minicamp. And I remember talking to Brett Veach, the general manager, and he said, Lou, listen to me. This young man is doing stuff in practice that is making us go, what have we stumbled upon here? And look, they knew they had something special. They didn't know it was going to be this special, though. But they knew that they had something that was something that they had never seen before. That's something that Andy had never seen before. And that's why they couldn't wait to unveil him the following year after Alex Smith was then traded to the Washington football team. They knew they had something special. But again, to go back to the original point of this discussion, is look, I think, greatness in the Hall of Fame is supposed to be really reward longevity as well. Because, look, the great Tiger Woods has said this recently. There's a lot of people, man, who can flash at you for a year, maybe 2, maybe a tournament, maybe a 6-month stretch. And I understand, look, for Patrick, we're talking about for 3 years. But can you do it for a decade? Can you do it for 8, 9, 10 years and really say I belong with the all-time greats? Not because I have unique talent of the likes of which this league has never seen, but because I did it again and again and again. Like the quarterback who's going to be on the other side of the football field on Sunday, who's done it again and again. And then when people told him he was hitting a cliff and he was too old, he did it again. Then he went to another football team and he's doing it again. That's what, to me, is what the Hall of Fame is supposed to be about. But there's no doubt, Patrick's one of the best to ever do it, if not the very best to ever lace him up and play this position, period.
I can't argue with any of that. And so, Dominic, maybe what it comes down to is that many of us, including RC, are just trying to figure out ways to describe what we're seeing. You're trying to come up with some way to accurately capture what we are all watching, because we can all tell it's something special. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out how to explain it and give it the credit that it clearly deserves.
We've been falling over ourselves complimenting him for the past 3 years, and it still doesn't feel like enough. That's why RC said what he said yesterday, and that's why I don't think it's absurd. And I understand the things about longevity, but you also have to understand the things that get people into Hall of Fame. What Lewis just said is right, but there's only one Tom Brady. There are a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that have not had the full careers that Patrick Mahomes has had in just these 3 seasons. Last year alone in the playoffs, he had 3 games that would have been all-time great games for a bunch of guys who are in the Hall of Fame. So it's hard when the analytics tell us he's great, our kind of regular fan eyes tell us he's great, the film junkies tell us he's great. It's hard to figure out a way to say how great he is other than jump into extreme hyperbole like Ryan said he's going to be in the Hall of Fame if he retires there. We just can't figure out a word or a phrase to embody all of this, and it's kind of mind-blowing.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.